Good morning. Navigated the markets well enough yesterday. Let's take a look through. Premier League, dead rubber. Vulnerable. Champions League, nothing to play for. Leicester, possibility goals before half time. Jamie Vardy on a hat-trick perhaps. Well, he did score the first goal. And this is complete dead rubber as well, isn't it? It's academic. This actually had something behind it. Aston Villa, Champions League football. Championship, well, the ones that were starred were the ones that were important as the match progressed. Derby and Stoke, very important because they didn't need to end that draw. Because Luton, we took on West Brom. Luton got us 3 goals in the live stream. They got us 3 goals, but they conceded 5. Very close to a comeback from Luton Town. What a pity. But the fact that they were being spanked meant that a whole host of teams drawing at the bottom didn't need those draws to end. So we did not lay those draws. Got to react to what's happening. They're not in trouble, Derby et al., while Luton are being spanked. And at the top, Bristol City got there in the end. Ideally, them and Blackburn needed the win. But Bristol City getting the draw, Blackburn getting the draw as well. That was a pity because the draw wasn't vulnerable to both teams. Sheffield United already guaranteed the playoff place. Blackburn, the only team pushing for that draw to end. Bristol City did come from behind, and in that regard, we missed out a possible trade there. Burnley and Millwall allay the draw second half. More so for Millwall. But this Burnley and Leeds obviously going for the title yesterday. I didn't lay the draw, Plymouth and Leeds. And I didn't really fancy Burnley, but they were the dominant force. Millwall, the side who could get into the playoffs if they could just get the win. So that draw, very vulnerable. We took that one on. English League One, you just do your research. And the research pointed out to only 2 teams with anything to play for. Leyton Orient and Reading. Now, for us traders, Leyton Orient 1-3 before you knew it meant that Reading just got that smack in the solar plexus, knocked the stuffing out of them. We did take Barnsley on, leading 0-2. Reading did get a goal back at 1-2. You could have got a trading outcome there. But those were the only 2 matches in English League One to focus on. No real trading angles there, alas, because Leyton Orient scored first, which meant led first, which meant that Reading had to get the win. And even if Reading got the win, they wouldn't have been able to surpass Leyton Orient for that final place. English League Two was all about the playoffs. This was our main play, Carlisle and Salford. Carlisle leading 2-0. We were ever so close to a pretty decent profit there. If I can find that match. They needed to win, Salford. Now, I showed you in the live stream, at 2-2 you had a profit in a configuration like this of £44 at 2-2 with half an hour to go. You could have locked that in. But given the need for a win for Salford, I stayed looking for that 116, but it didn't come to fruition. What a pity. Did come out of it with a token profit, but could have been a lot better. But they were really going for it. Colchester had to win, really, but they had an outside chance. They needed Chesterfield not to win. Chesterfield held all the aces with that 1-0 lead on 70 points. It was a fascinating night, and it changed throughout. Grimsby had to win, couldn't cross the line. It's just some real sad stories, particularly for Salford. One more goal. We did get the late draw. Lay the late draw, Bradford. I really hope you got on, because this single goal could change Bradford's future. Take 3 away from that, and they're in the playoffs. Get the win. That single 1-0, they are automatically promoted. Takes all of the heartache away. Told you to lay that late draw. Sarcevic, 96th minute. I hope you got on nice and low. Low risk, big return. That was the one we were waiting for. Bradford and Salford. Those are the real templates for yesterday as far as playing these last days of the season. Huge, huge impact. Bradford, massive. Single goal changed the whole complexion of their season. They are now up. Looking on to today and back to the Premier League. Do watch out for some dead rubbers. Again, it's not a league that makes great appeal. Chelsea still have something to aim for. And I would suggest Newcastle, I think, given their recent run, happily ensconced their 60 points. Well, they can still be caught. So they're going to have to be a little honest, Newcastle and Chelsea. They can still be caught in the Champions League places. You saw what Bradford did with that single goal, leaping into the top 3. Anything, well, Bournemouth didn't get the win, or they did. They're playing today, aren't they? No, yes, they got the win against Arsenal, so vitally important for them. Outside chance of Europe. But Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, the only 2 sides, realistically, who can threaten Chelsea and Newcastle. Chelsea and Newcastle can put the future in their own hands today. Still some motivation. London derby, new manager, West Ham. It's a complete dead rubber. I wouldn't be looking to play that at all. Brentford and Manchester United, again, very little to play for. Manchester United, European ambitions, that's why they're drifting outside. French League, plenty to play for in Champions League places and in those relegation spots as well. It's very, very tight. Again, like the Championship, from Lyon upwards, they must keep going as they can be caught. And at the bottom, Le Havre have an outside chance of getting out of the bottom 3. They are in that coveted relegation playoff place, which they will take Saint-Etienne and Montpellier as things stand. So important for Le Havre, if they can get 3 points today, get themselves out of that relegation spot. Nantes and Angers, touch of relegation 6-pointerishness about that one. Take points off your nearest rival, try to keep them within Le Havre's grasp. So that's on at 2 o'clock. Auxerre and Le Havre, well, we know all about Le Havre. Auxerre, mid-table, 41 points. Looks like their season is petering out. So all about Le Havre, that one. Brest and Montpellier. Brest should be near the European places, but they are 12 points shy. They're not going to be doing it this season. Looks like a petering out season there. Montpellier are at the bottom on 16. It's done. Simple as that. They are down. So that's a dead rubber. Brest, Montpellier, Lyon and Lens. It's take points off your nearest rival. Lyon with a win today could really dampen Lens's European ambitions. So important for Lens to take 3 points, move up to 48, be within striking distance. Lille and Marseille. Again, it's all about upgrading for Lille from Europa Conference League to possible Champions League place with 3 points today. Marseille are keen to keep that top 3 Champions League berth, so they must take points off their nearest rival. So that's a nice competitive fixture this in Liga compared to the Premier League. Bundesliga, all about the relegation for Holstein Kiel. Bayer Leverkusen were given a shot at the title yesterday as Bayern Munich were losing. Mathematically, they could have won the title with Bayern losing all remaining matches, but I don't think that's done. It's just going through the motions now for Bayer Leverkusen. All about whether Freiburg have any European ambitions to get us motivated for this one. Indeed, they do. It's one of those upgrades, isn't it, with a win? You upgrade to Champions League football. With Dortmund winning yesterday, Freiburg have a shot. Having a good season. Top 5. So I don't think Bayer Leverkusen will be wholly motivated today. That could be an opportunity for Freiburg to have a chance at a Champions League spot. Mainz and Frankfurt, just the outside European places for them. Bundesliga 2, it's getting busy now at the top. Business is yet to be concluded. Hertha Berlin, well, they're missing out on promotion. Greuther Fürth, you can't see them in the top 10. Karlsruhe and Kaiserslautern are 8th and 9th on 47 and 49 points, with 52 for Paderborn. I think there's 3 matches remaining in the Bundesliga, so enough to keep Kaiserslautern and Karlsruhe interested. That would be the match to focus on there. And at the bottom, I think Elversberg, they're okay. Elversberg in 6th, so they might have some ambition on the cusp of that 50-point barrier. So plenty for Elversberg to interest, and Kaiserslautern and Karlsruhe. And at the bottom, there's no real relegation struggles today. Greuther Fürth, 35 points. Well, yes. So enough in Bundesliga 2 to interest us at 2:30. Serie A, only the 2 previews there. But again, I think it's all about those European places. For Lazio, Fiorentina, realistic. AC Milan will need to get 3 points under their belts, otherwise they're getting 6 points adrift still. So Bologna, Juve could still be caught by Roma, Lazio, Fiorentina. And at the bottom, Venezia and Lecce can still fight it out to get out of the relegation zone, along with Empoli. Empoli can overtake Lecce with a win. Venezia can do the same. Parma are looking safer and safer in those 30s. 30 plus for Empoli, Venezia and Lecce is key. So relegation 6-pointers, definitely Lecce, Venezia and Empoli. So this is vitally important. 11:30 kickoff for Empoli today. Against the Lazio, seeking European football. Very, very tough at this stage of the season when you're meeting a motivated, better side. Monza are down. That's why Atalanta's such a strong favourite. Roma, European ambitions along with Fiorentina. Similar story, Bologna and Juve. So there's still plenty of motivation. Empoli have the greatest motivation there. Save their season. Serie B. Let's just check how many matches remain this season. In Italian Serie B, you've got the full complement, which means normally there's 2 matches left, or just the 1. So let's just check. They should be all uniform on 35. I think it's 38 in this league. I've just determined whether there's any. There's 9 points to be had in Serie B. So you're not pressing the panic button just yet. I would be looking more at the second to last match of the season and the last match of the season. But 9 points, 81 minus 9 is 72. So Pisa can still catch, but the goal difference is so positive. Yes, that's about right. Qualified for Serie A. That's all they need. Pisa, 9 points. A win today for Pisa, and they will guarantee themselves automatic promotion. So stick that in your notebook there at 2 o'clock. Bang. That's a season changer right there for Pisa. If my maths is correctamundo, the gap between 3rd and 2nd is key. Elsewhere, well, you can just upgrade the likes of Juve Stabia, Palermo. Well, Juve Stabia especially, just to get into the semi-final phase of the playoffs rather than going through the quarters. And a look at all of this lot on 44 and on 41 and on 40. Anything 40 plus is within striking distance of a playoff place. Frosinone will need to be aiming for that 40 plus with only those 9 points remaining. They are within striking distance. So a unique side, Frosinone. They've got European ambitions, but they can still be relegated. Talk about the carrot and the stick for this one. Brescia, carrot and stick. Reggiana with the win. They're on 41 points, and they're within 3 points of a top 8 berth. Wow. So if you were a betting person, you could have a bit of fun. Back Reggiana for a playoff place. Unbelievably tight league. So honestly, pretty much everything to play for. Even Cosenza, don't forget, 9 points just by hair's breadth with 3 consecutive wins. They'll be out. Of course, this lot will all have to conveniently lose all their remaining 3 matches. But for me, I think there's enough motivation for pretty much everyone to stay on their guard, apart from Sassuolo. Pisa will be the absolute standout. That's going up with a win. But there's plenty to play for. 16th could still go into the playoffs. What a league today. 2 o'clock starts for that. NAC Breda, Zwolle, Sparta. It's brewing up nicely in the Eredivisie. Elite Serien season just beginning. And Spanish La Liga, I think, getting a bit closer to Barcelona, probably tying up the title. There's a nice 7-point gap now. These two are guaranteed Champions League football. Atletico Madrid, pretty much guaranteed. You'd say there'd be 9 points left. But a pretty poor 0-0 recently. Just could have got them a win, could have got them into 70 points. It looks like Barca are doing the job. European places, Mallorca. Well, they're getting a nosebleed up there in 9th. Osasuna, Real Sociedad, Valencia, real European ambitions there. So it's a very competitive league in that regard. And at the bottom, Las Palmas can still grab Girona and Alaves. Alaves will be cursing not turning that 0-0 into a win against Real Madrid. Unbeaten in 3, Alaves, a push to get out of the relegation zone. So Leganes, Las Palmas still have something to play for. So it looks like a competitive day in Spain. So watch the likes of Sevilla, don't really have any carrot or stick. But Atletico Bilbao involved late on in Europe as well. Might be blinkered. La Liga 2, all about the promotion. Playoffs, that's where you're going to get your most pressure at the top. It's business still not concluded. I would say there'd be 3 matches remaining here. We're on 37-38. Plenty to play for Almeria and Huesca, who lost to Oviedo yesterday. Important win for Oviedo against 10-man Huesca. Again, just upgrade. Well, try to get into the 60s at least. But Racing Santander, they can sniff a second automatic promotion space. So huge. Eldenza, the only real realistic chance of staying survival. Eldenza, Tenerife, 6 points to just get to Eldenza with about, I would say, 3 matches remaining. So they're in a spot of bother. Let's just confirm the amount of matches remaining, just to make sure we get our maths right. So Spanish Secunda. So we'll go for the one on 37, Almeria. Plenty of matches remaining. So even 4 matches remaining. So there is plenty still to fight for in La Liga 2. We're not getting that pressure, that time pressure just yet. There's still some breathing space, but there is plenty that these teams can do to help themselves, particularly at the top, those automatic promotion places. Racing Santander, no wonder they're odds on today. Look at that carrot of automatic promotion. They can get 3 points. Only 2 places available. Swedish Allsvenskan, season is warming up nicely. It's one of our summer leagues. Those are the major leagues today. Again, live stream. I don't get many attendees on a Sunday. We do have the 2 o'clocks. I might just do a 2 o'clock just to follow Serie B, maybe. Let me know if you're interested in the comments below. We can also, well, we don't need to look at any tennis today. There isn't any. We're heading into kind of final zones on a Sunday, so it's very shorn of any quality. Casper Rudd and Jack Draper tightly ranked. Jack Draper, the new Andy Murray, didn't know he was top 6 and is a Brit, so superb stuff from him. Somebody to follow. When you've been out of the tennis world, you've seen the likes of Mazzetti get to 11th place. Jack Draper now on the cusp of a world top 5 berth. Superb stuff, but nothing much to interest there. So 2 o'clock, I'll have a think. If you want a live stream, leave a comment. It will only be from 2 o'clock to the end of the 2 o'clocks. But it might be an interesting exercise. But Serie B, was there enough matches left? I thought there was 3 matches left. So there's not that great urgency, is there, just yet? But there's still enough to interest us, enough to move, and every single team is involved. Even this lot are involved in the playoffs. 3 points, you're shooting up. What an amazing league. So that will be interesting. Have a great day. I hope to see you a bit later for a live stream. I will make up my mind at about 1 o'clock. So do leave a comment below if you'd like a live stream today. Plenty to interest us in Serie B, at least for 2 o'clock. Premier League looks pretty much done and dusted, doesn't it? Already. Have a great day.